In this video, I'm going to be showing you the best point guard build for Season 3 in NBA 2K23. This build is mainly going to be used for Rec or ProAm, so if you're really a park player, you might be able to tweak it here or there to work for it, but it's mainly just used for those two game modes. So we'll start with, of course, the point guard position. We're going to go 6'1". For your weight, you're going to go 169 pounds. And for your wingspan, you're going to go 6'7". Now I'm going to use the compact body style. So for your attributes, we're going to go 49 close shot. We're going to go 74 driving layup. You're going to go at 80 driving dunk. And so really with the badges here, I want to be able to just get the quick drop animation. So you only have 14, so you will be using 2 of your +4 badges right here to get this to 16. That way you could save your badge points for other areas that actually improve the build. But really, want to get the limitless takeoff. There's some other decent badges that you can equip overall, but really this build is just going to be used to 3 hunt. If you do get like a space to attack, you're going to be using the quick drop animations. It's really the only way you're going to be able to finish consistently with this build. Make sure you have that in mind whenever you're making this, that it is a quick drop kind of made build. If you don't utilize that, you're not going to really be able to finish the ball. So check out the best finishing badge setup for this build. For your finishing badges, we're going to go bronze acrobat, bronze fearless, gold giant slayer, and I'm going to go bronze aerial. That's going to unlock your tier 3. But again, like I said, 2 of your +4s have to be put here. When you get those 4, you're going to get limitless. Your takeoff, you're going to core that. And I would suggest adding in slithery, so you're going to have 1 left over to kind of add where you want. Overall, like with the finishing badge setup, to be honest, like I don't think acrobat's good, but there's really like nowhere else to put it. I don't run pro touch, so that'd be better to add. Other than that, you're just limited. Really, like I said, we're just really utilizing the limitless takeoff. Slithery help us get to the rim. You're 6'1", so giant slayer is going to be a good badge to have. But with the finishing, you're just really utilizing those quick drop animations. Where you're shooting, we're going to go a 77 in mid range. We're going to go a 92 in 3-pointer. You're going to go a 75 in free throw. And so this will be your shooting setup. Reason to hit that 92 range is to be able to get, of course, to get the gold limitless range. I think it's just a must-have badge, in my opinion, for pretty much any type of guard. You're going to be able to get, you know, the gold blinders, gold agent 3. Overall, pretty much every type of shooting badge you're going to need to play point guard, whether it be rec or pro-am. Just kind of, you know, your play style will dictate some of these, you know, like midi magician, things like that. But overall, you're going to get all the best shooting badges that you can get. One badge I would love to be able to get, which is on one of my other builds, is the Hall of Fame Agent 3. I think it's really good. So I'm testing out a little bit more, just trying to see if I think it's actually worth it. But this build right here, even though you only have like a 77 mid-range, as long as you know your jumper, you'll be able to time those. But with this, combined with the dunking ability with this, it's really hard to guard if you know how to use the boost animations and things like that. So check out the best shooting badge setup for this build. For your shooting badges, I'm going to go gold amped. I'm going to go Hall of Fame guard up. I'm going to go bronze volume shooter, and then I'm going to go to agent 3. I'm going to core that. I'm going to get limitless range, and then this is where I suggest adding up the +1. So you add a 2 to finishing or add 1 here. You're going to be able to get blinders gold, which is a really good badge. So overall, like I said, with guard up and amped, it's just preference. I do think that there's other, like Green Machine is good. Clutch shooter is pretty good. So really just depending on your play style. This is kind of something I think is universal with some players. But having these 3 badges equipped at gold is going to really make it where you're being a consistent shooter, pretty much no matter where you're at on the court or like what kind of defense is being ran on you, as long as you know how to get to your spots. For your playmaking, we're going to go 79 pass accuracy, a 94 ball handle, and you're going to go you're going to stay with the 79 speed with ball. So really with this, I just want to get the handles for days. If you can get to a 95, it's also great to get the Hall of Fame unpluckable. For me, to be honest, I utilize those badge points in another area that we'll get to. So if you can, you know, take some sacrifices here or there with the defense or with some of your physicals, the 95 would be great to get the Hall of Fame unpluckable. Do I think it's a must-have? I think it's really good to have the 95, but I don't know. It just really depends on how you feel about the glove steel animations and all that. So overall, though, I think with this ball handle setup or this playmaking setup, you're gonna have all the key badges that you need. Handle for days. You'll be able to equip, you know, if you're a clamp breaker player or a killer combos player. Hall of Fame hyper, quick first step, all the stuff that you pretty much need, combined with the shooting and the finishing. And then when I show you the playmaking badge setup, when we get into the defense, you'll really see like where this build rounds out in the type of player that this really is going to become. But overall, like I said, every playmaking badge you have. Check out the best playmaking badge setup for this. For playmaking, we're going to go Hall of Fame Hybrid Drive, Hall of Fame Quick First Step, and then that should unlock your tier 3. So we're going to go ahead and come down here and get Handles for Days. We're going to core that. I'm going to come back up here, add Gold Unpluckable and Bronze Bailout. And now you have kind of the +4 badges to mess around with. It could be a thing of where you don't want to add the +1 in shooting, so now you have 5. You might be able to get killer combos or clamp breaker if you wanted to. But with the 4 badges to mess around with, you could, come down here, you could add needle thread or silver. You could work with dimer, pretty much like wherever you want to put these. I would suggest probably doing something around this just to make sure, those passes that you make, they're on, they get there with the needle threader, and then dimer is going to help your teammates shoot. But I think this is probably the best playmaking badge setup you can have for this build. Now for the defense, so I did make a 6'1" point guard before, and it had no defense. And then I've made a 6'1" with 99 defense. So this one is kind of like in the middle, and I'll show you when we get to the physicals what I mean. We're going to go an 88 perimeter, and we're going to go an 88 steal. And so with these, you're going to have just enough defense to actually be able to affect the game on the defensive side of the ball. With the silver interceptor, silver clamps, you do get silver glove if you want to utilize it. Gold pick dodger is going to allow you to play on the wing or up top on the zone. So if you have to go through screens, you can. Really, the benefit of this build versus the other one, the 99 glove is really good, but with the physicals that you're about to see, this is where this build is much better than the other one. And it's also kind of like in between my no defensive point guard build and the full 99 still build. But with this one, it's kind of like, I feel like a perfect balance in between those two. So if you like the 99 steel, but you feel like that build's too slow, because I feel like that build's just way too slow to actually play point guard. But then on the other side of it, if you want to build with some defense, and then that other 6'1" I made has, like, it's really fast, it can do everything, but it can't play any defense at all. This build is going to be perfect for you. So with that, check out the best defensive badges. Now for defense, we're going to go Hall of Fame Menace. I'm going to go Gold Pick Dodger. Now for the tier 3, this is really where it depends on what you feel like is effective, because you're not going to be able to get all of them. So you could go silver clamps. I'm going to core that. I like glove. Maybe you don't think glove at silver is good, so you don't want that. You could add in the silver interceptor, which I really think is good. And then maybe you're a challenger. You like challenger more than anything. So maybe if you want to do that, challenger, you can get to gold. So instead, maybe you come to challenger, you core that, which is going to allow you to get, more badges. Maybe you, instead of the +1 in the shooting or the +1 in the playmaking, you add, the +1 or +2 here, and you'll be able to also get silver interceptor with no glove. So it really just depends on what you want to do with this. You can lower down Menace as well and not have to utilize any of them. I like Menace on Hall of Fame. But if you don't like Menace, like, you could even do this. So there's a bunch of different ways you can kind of mess around with this build to make it kind of work for your play style when it comes to the defensive badges. Now for your physicals, so we're going to go at 95 in acceleration, which is really where this build, takes its mark and what I would say. With the 95 stamina, this is really where, or the 95 acceleration, this is really where the build, I think, completes itself. My other 6'1" PG, I don't remember exactly what the stamina was, but it was not a 95, and I've played with the 95 acceleration. Your animations are absolutely insane. You only have an 80 in speed, but this is really just for the defensive end. I don't know if you need a ton of speed, in my opinion. Like, you're going to be able to play defense well enough on the perimeter. If they drive, you're only 6'1", so hopefully, your defensive rotations are in place and things like that. But overall, this build, like I said, is like the perfect in between of like the no defense 6'1" build and the 99 still 6'1" build. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds, in my opinion, when it comes to the speed factor with this build. So with that, we'll get into the takeovers, kind of look at what we got. Got shot creator, shooting, playmaking, and the defensive one. So really depends on like your play style. Overall, I think that a good badge to have is like the team ratings boost, because if you actually get this badge, you do make a pass, the entire defense kind of has to, like, they have to play defense on their player. They can't just like come W and stuff, because anyone can make a shot with this one. I do like the pull-up precision. I think the fades are just really good just to get open with some of the dribble moves. And then the second one, if you feel like you need it, extreme clamps, other badges are there. If you're really like one of the primary defenders, I of course suggest one of those. But it's also good to have the limitless range kind of in there just to be able to shoot from as deep as possible. So I'm going to go with these two, and then we'll get into the shades of and the build name. Everyone always is curious what the builds are actually called. So there's the 3 players, not bad. And then the build is actually going to be called a 2-way 3-point shot creator. That'll be it for this video. I have a link to my Discord in the description below if you're interested in joining. I go over things like the NBA 2K League, tips and tricks for 2K23, or if you want to play the game with myself, I play on Xbox and PlayStation. You can catch my live streams as well. I stream on YouTube. If you found this video helpful, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.